So the point is that the debate almost always will revolve around the intent, and then there will be questions: what is the intent behind getting in a law? You want to regulate, you want to control, as a general proposition, or do you want to regulate and control those who are speaking against you, or control a narrative which may go against you?
Yeah, that is the key issue. So Sanket, one thing I welcome Ms. Kumar Mangalam's view that everyone should sit around and come up with a framework for regulation, and no one is against that. But News Laundry is also one of the founding members of DigiPub, which is the largest organization that represents digital media organizations in the country, news media organizations in the country. We have approximately 70 members, which is larger than any other digital news media organization by a factor of like triple, of quadruple. But we have written 2 letters, asking the INB ministry for a consultation before these IT rules came out. Even after they came out, we haven't even been given the courtesy of a reply, of a response. And there was that we should have a consultation. So that is one. So I do hope the INB ministry takes Ms. Kumar Mangalam's advice, because I think that will be extremely useful, because no one is against regulation. Now, the second thing is that by the IT rules that were, just proposed, and they were challenged in several courts around the country. And in fact, Live Law got a favorable order in Kerala, and Mrs. Jai Singh has got a favorable order in Bombay High Court, where there's been a stay on it. What the government does is it throws everyone in the basket, and also I think that is an error often in discussions like this we make. Twitter and Facebook is not Scroll, News Minute, News Laundry. It's not the same, because the social media giants have stated that we are not media platforms, we are tech platforms. We are saying we are media platforms, we are responsible for what we put out.
No, so fact, do you agree with what Naveen's assessment was, that at least you admitted that there exists a new form of media, a digital media, a social media? Did you not give acknowledgement?
Of course it's a given, but what I'm saying is that we need to separate platforms that take responsibility for the editor. The NDTV.com is just another pipeline for you to put out your content, but there are editorial filters that go in.
Oh, absolutely.
So I have been challenged in court. Like, I have been sued by the Times Group for speaking the truth. Okay, they have taken us to court. There are rules that if we do something wrong, we can be challenged, whether the government does it. Now, I'll just give you a simple example. When I talk about good faith, I could go on this aspect, where we need to separate news platforms from social media giants. I agree that they have no editorial filters. We kuch bhi pel do. We are not that. We have editorial filters. Anything goes on, we are responsible, we are culpable, we can be challenged. And on a technicality, I'll just quickly, if you just need like 40 seconds more.
Sure.
This is the Sudarshan case that went to the Supreme Court, where I think unarguably everyone can at least agree that Sudarshan spreads the vilest kind of hate news. Okay, it is hate speech by any standards. Now, when this case was being argued in court, and this is what the Solicitor General said on behalf of the Government of India, Mr. Tushar Mehta, now the Supreme Court is hearing the case against Sudarshan TV, but what does the center say? That yes, there is regulation there. What about digital? Digital is not a part of this case. Na lena na dena. The case is against a broadcaster who has clearly done something very, very vile. But no, the center's counsel in the Supreme Court is saying, they are regulated. Let's talk about digital, where digital is not a party in the case. This tells you about whether the rules and regulations are in good faith or not.
Okay.
So you see, the point is that when you have, and if you just go to the INB Ministry website, and the last time I was on your debate, I actually opened that, see who are the people who've been blacked out by the INB Ministry. NDTV for airing a documentary film, Comedy Central. You just see the list of people who have actually been punished or given orders for a banning for a period of time by the INB Ministry. See if there's any of the hate news. So I don't think anybody is fooled that regulation to make a healthier ecosystem is the intent. The intent is control, because there is...
Okay, so, Mr. Sikri, while I get your point, see, this is not just about an NDTV or any other. We're talking about, a situation where the intended purpose is delivered. Lalita Kumara Mangalam, would you like to respond? I mean, the point that Abhinandan Sikri tried to make was that It's the intent on the basis of the previous action which is being questioned over here. Nobody is saying you don't need regulation, but in what form and how exactly will it be used?
At least respond to a letter.
Has the right to question. I'm sorry, I don't work for the IT ministry, so I can't comment on your letter. I've made my opinion very clear. But everybody has the right to question and to doubt. But this is exactly what I'm trying to say, that perhaps if we get together, all this sort of to and fro criticisms and to and fro lack of trust in each other could perhaps be worked out. And I use the word perhaps very carefully. Currently, as we all know, media and non-media people, especially politicians, seem to live in a sort of constant state of antagonism with each other, which is very unfortunate. Because when I was spokesperson of the BJP, I used to hear the Congress and the press constantly at odds with each other, and we were not then in Parliament except for a few months in 2014. But now it's the other way around. It's the BJP and the press which seems to be always at conflict. Now, the fact is that many of us who have not worked for the press perhaps, but who hold fairly rational views, at least I think I do, think that some of the freedom that is demanded by the press sometimes can be a little extreme. Freedom of speech is fine, but on more than one occasion, and I'm not blaming any particular TV channel or newspaper or anybody, I'm not trying to pinpoint blame on any particular slant of reporting, etc. All I'm saying is that often the expression, freedom of expression or freedom of speech is being used to promote hate speech. My idea of hate speech may differ from somebody else's, but you see, that's just the point.